Crystal Maiden.
Alright, here we go.
Dire
What's up,
team
guys? This is
pick.
Mike Loris, going to be casting one of the semi-final matches from League of Dota round of 4. Wow, Slark. Okay, well,
Radiant
Slark's going to be
team
on the
pick.
Dire, Thundercat's going to be on the Radiant. For some reason, Slark's Dagenham banning out Slark themselves. I don't really understand why you would name your team after a hero and then choose not to play him. Not only choose not to play him, but also choose to get rid of him in the first round of bans. He's a powerful hero, and he has been seeing some first bans, especially in this tournament that I've seen. But they're instead going to go for the Bristleback as well as Death Prophet combination
10
right off the
seconds
bat.
remaining.
And also right off the bat, that's a lot of physical damage. Death Prophet's ultimate is physical.
5 seconds
As we
remaining.
can see, Exorcism Spirits actually do, like, they're basically just hitting you at melee range.
Reserve
Bristleback
time.
is also purely physical. Death Prophet does have the nuke, but between the two of these two teams, Timbersaw is going to be the response.
Radiant
Slark's
team
Dagenham
ban.
is going to have a lot of pushing, just with the Death Prophet alone, really. If you pick that hero up, you're pretty much in the go for a pushing strategy, just because all you really need is Death Prophet. You could add some more things to it. You could add Nature's Prophets or Venomancers or
10
Pugnas,
seconds remaining.
but Death Prophet, just as a hero, means that you're going to be going for some pushing.
5
I think that's what
seconds
Slark
remaining.
is probably going to want to focus on. Bristleback is a really supreme force in the early mid game when Death
Reserve
Prophet really
time.
wants to push. So I think that's what they're going to be aiming for. Just trying to hit that timing where Death Prophet's really powerful, where Bristleback is really powerful and tanky most
Dire
importantly.
team ban.
And then just overpower Thundercats early on, take their towers, and then ride the game to victory from there. Thundercats, on the other hand, they picked up the Crystal Maiden as their first, so they could set up for some aggressive roaming with the Crystal Maiden, and then, well, Visage is banned out. Alchemist
10
could be
seconds
supporting,
remaining.
so we've been seeing a lot. Rubik could also be a decent roamer, though not as
5
aggressive as,
seconds
you know,
remaining.
one of those other heroes. Visage, of course, would be the best, but not available. But the aggressive roaming from the Thundercats could do pretty well to shut down the
Radiant
Death Prophet,
team
because
ban.
even though she does have a lot of power in the lane, she'll be able to nuke whoever she's up
Dire
against.
team
Once she
ban.
gets ganked, she kind of struggles to do anything. She's a very soft hero once she's on the defensive. Once she's on the offensive, she's amazing. Defensive, not so much. Crystal Maiden Aura also going to do a lot of work for the Timbersaw, who's usually starved for mana, so I think the Thundercats probably going to pick up
10
some other
seconds
heroes that are
remaining.
usually a little bit mana light. Might use the Crystal Maiden in more of a utility role, just as a
5
kind
seconds
of
remaining.
mobile mana regeneration aura hero. More than likely, though, it's going to be some
Reserve
aggressive roaming
time.
from them. Timbersaw, we saw Timbersaw versus Bristleback in some of the previous games. He's a decent hero versus the Bristleback versus the Death Prophet after he gets his reactive armor up, because before that he has 0 base armor. And when you're up against a purely physical Bristleback, especially 1v1 or 1v2 or whatever in
Dire
lane,
team
then those
pick.
quills hurt. They hurt a lot, and Timbersaw, he doesn't really have any great ways of dealing with that until he actually gets stacks of reactive armor up. But Bristleback, if he just avoids it, or if Timbersaw can't, for whatever reason, get those reactive armor charges up, then he'll be forced to rely on Magic Stick, Magic Wand to keep himself up, which is pretty good. I mean, he'll be having a lot of mana because of Bristleback's constant spamming, but he's still going to get hit very hard by those quill sprays. Then later on, Death Prophet's ultimate
10
as well.
seconds
I believe
remaining.
Death Prophet's ultimate does not trigger off reactive
Radiant
armor,
team pick.
because they're like, although it's physical damage, they're not technically hitting Timbersaw. I believe that's how it works. It would be pretty ridiculous if it didn't work like that, so just assuming it works like that. I actually do not know for sure, but hopefully we will be able to find out. Slark going to pick up the Wind Ranger as their third pickup. Going to get a much needed stun on their side. Death Prophet, of course, is pretty much devoid of CC except for the silence, which doesn't really count. Wind Ranger is going to be a very useful stun, stopping
10
Timbersaw in his
seconds
tracks.
remaining.
Most likely that's going to be the biggest utility that Wind Ranger can offer. Of course, later
5
on,
seconds
there will be
remaining.
the 2-man shackles, 1 shackle to a tree kind of initiation strategy, because Slarks also are lacking some
Reserve
initiation,
time.
as are Thundercats, but it's definitely not too late for either of these teams to pick up some initiation. Bans from OD, Templar Assassin, Juggernaut, and Pugna. Thundercats definitely focusing on the pushing side of Slark's lineup. Pugna as well as Juggernaut both could be very vicious pushing
Dire
heroes.
team
Juggernaut
pick.
a little bit more carry oriented. I would say Juggernaut is would be the pick if Slark did not already pick up the Bristleback. Usually they're fairly interchangeable in how they work, but Pugna definitely is a supreme pushing hero along with Death Prophet, not going to be available to Slark for their other picks. And I think they can just transition away from going all in on the pushing and just have a Death Prophet be a tempo setter in the mid lane. She's not the best tempo setter, like Queen of Pain,
10
Puck
seconds
are generally
remaining.
heroes that you would want to, have in that role. But Death Prophet's pretty good
5
because instead of
seconds
killing heroes, she
remaining.
kills your towers. And sometimes that's all you need. And they're going to ensure that the Death Prophet is safe because they ban out
Reserve
the TA as well as the OD. And both of those heroes, through the Ashel Imprisonment insta-steal and through the Refraction, blocking off the very slow, methodical nuking of Death Prophet. Very
Radiant
obvious
team
nuking from
pick.
Death Prophet as well. It will make her life difficult if she ran into those heroes, but instead she's probably not going to run into those heroes. Slark going to pick up an Alchemist as their 4th pick, so that just might be their hard carry. It's most likely going to be a support Wind Ranger from the looks of it. It could be a roaming Alchemist, but really, you don't really want to be roaming an Alchemist with a Wind Ranger. I guess it will give her a little bit more time to set up a Shackle Shot, but there's no guarantee
10
after an
seconds
Alchemist
remaining.
Sunlands the Wind Ranger is actually going to be able to deliver. And Thundercats, they're going to go for Viper. So
Dire team ban.
Slarks may have banned out some of the heroes that are better against Death Prophet specifically, but unfortunately they didn't ban out the hero that's good against everyone in the mid lane. So Viper is going to be the pickup, probably going to run the Viper against that Death Prophet, and then even though the
10
Viper will be
seconds
hit pretty hard by
remaining.
those nukes until he gets a couple points of the corrosive skin up, he will still
5
be able to chip
seconds
back Death
remaining.
Prophet pretty well. But it's going to be a large chunking battle versus a large chipping battle
Reserve time.
on the side of the Death Prophet and the Viper respectively.
Radiant team
Also, a lot of slow
ban.
on the Thundercats. They only do have one stun or one hard disable in the form of Crystal Maiden. I think they might want to pick up another, though there's not really any slippery skills from Slark's team. They're more of a stand and fight kind of team, and I think the Thundercats are kind of preparing for that.
10
Having the
seconds
Viper, having the
remaining.
Venomancer, having the Timbersaw. Although they can run and gun in kind of
5
those types of
seconds
fights,
remaining.
when you just get in there with the Venomancer ultimate, once you drop your Viper Strike, once your Timbersaw dives in, you kind of
Reserve
want to finish a
time.
fight right there. So I don't expect the fights to last for very long unless the Thundercats actually choose to do so. Slark, they're obviously going to want to have a bursty team fight because Death Prophet's ult, if you pop it and then they run away, well, you're pretty much screwed. So you kind of have to finish the deal right there, or else you waste one of your largest damaging ultimates. Slark
Dire
going to
team
have
pick.
Clinks banned out from them, they themselves banning out the Lifestealer from the Thundercats. Thundercats do have a pretty aggressive roaming lineup of Venomancer, Crystal Maiden, a lot of slows, a lot of crowd control, so they're going to have to be reliant on the lanes, or the core hero in the lane, to deliver most of the damage. And the right-clicking is going to be intense, of course, but they will have to rely on that last hero to do a lot of right-click damage and hopefully drop a spell here and there. Thundercats
10
will probably
seconds
look for a hard
remaining.
carry, might even look for another mid lane hero. Viper could easily go on a
5 seconds
side lane by
remaining.
himself. Timbersaw could do the same thing. He could even go to the Death Prophet, although I think that's a little bit less than ideal
Reserve
versus
time.
the Timbersaw versus Death Prophet matchup. We'll see what they want to do with it. Slark, their last pickup, what do they want? They already have a potential hard carry. They already have 3 core heroes, really, or the potential for 3 core heroes. They could pick up another and push Alchemist into the support role, but I think they might just want to go for a little bit more guaranteed stun. And they do have an Alchemist as well as a Wind Ranger. Between the two of them, that's a pretty good amount of stun. And it's going to be a Shadow Demon as their last. So Alchemist is definitely going to be
Radiant
farming
team
now.
pick.
Shadow Demon and Wind Ranger going to be kind of supporty heroes. Usually we don't see Shadow Demon anymore just because he is reliant on his teammates, but he's reliant on his teammates to do anything, more so than other heroes. Ooh, it's a Necrophos. I'm going to be calling him Necrolite because old habits, but Necrophos as the last pickup, very, very interesting from the Thundercats. Well, it's a little bit more healing for their team. It's a little bit more nuking power. It's another disable in the Reaper Scythe. Sometimes you just gotta lay a scythe into someone. But yeah, as I was saying about the Shadow Demon, he's reliant on his allies to do damage, whereas if you look at the Venomancer and
Prepare
the
for
Crystal Maiden,
battle.
if they run into someone 1v1, they could really, really do a lot of damage there. But Shadow Demon, not so much. He will probably be going for a little bit, well, he could go for a lot of Soul Catcher, but usually it's the Shadow Poison build that we see. If they stack up Soul Catcher and then, land an Unstable Concoction after that, it's a lot of damage going to whoever's going to be on this top lane. Usually we see Shadow Demon paired up with Mirana just because those types of heroes make better usage of the Disruption, at least better than the Wind Ranger or the Alchemist, but it looks like it might even be dual lanes from the Slark side. This is pretty interesting. Wind Ranger taking care of Zombini on his Bristleback and Mata on the Wind Ranger. In the bottom lane, looks like they will run into Smurf Shinobi's Necrophos, at least. Hannah Montana's on the Venomancer. He's going to be going on to the bot lane as well, so we might just be seeing
30 seconds
run-in
to
on the
battle.
dual lanes. Let's go over who's playing what on the rest of the heroes. We have, hold on. Bastion, yes, thank you, Sophie Ellis Baxter. Moon City is going to be playing the Crystal Maiden. High School is on the mid lane, Viper, and Salen is going to be top lane as the Timbersaw. The Shadow Demon is going to be playing that Bastion announcer holder, Sophie Ellis Baxter. My is going to be on the Alchemist General. is on the Death Prophet, and I believe that about
The
covers
game is
everyone.
on.
This is also a best of 3, guys, if you are currently in the stream. If you are on Dota TV, well, I guess if you're on Dota
Oh,
TV, you already
great.
bought the
Now
ticket,
I'm
but
seeing
if you're on the
things
stream, make sure
too.
to buy the ticket, only 99
No
cents.
more
You can get
bets,
some
please.
pretty cool drops. I got a rare Broodmother mask the other day. That was cool. Is this better than... Okay, well, it looks like everyone else knows it's best of 3, so I don't have to tell them. But dual lanes, no, it's actually giving me a tri-lane. Hannah Montana, as well as Moon City, both on this bottom lane. Do they have any smokes? They don't. They don't have any sentries either, so this Observer Ward is going to spot everyone out. However, they themselves, the Radiant, have placed an Observer Ward, so I think those wards pretty much should counter each other. It's going to be the action that happens in lane that's actually going to matter, because Hannah Montana, he could poke a good deal, but Mata as a Wind Ranger is usually going to win the poking wards, because 600 attack range versus 450 attack range, the Wind Ranger is going to have the edge in poking, even though the Necrophos also is a range hero. Mata will be able to harass them deeply unless she gets galed like that instantly into the Wind Run. Moon City coming from the side, looking for a Frost Nova. Might be able to too late. No, he lands it anyway, as well as the Death Pulse from the Necrophos. Mata should be just fine, actually, and it's Moon City who's tanking up Zombini for just a little bit too much. Wind Ranger gets out of there with that salve, and she's going to return back. Shinobi now on the run, has 4 stacks of these quills. It's going to be one more, and Mata's going to come back in. Salve being used. He does have 2 magic stick charges. Zombini completely tapped out of mana. Here comes Moon City once again. Mata taking a good amount of beating from Hannah Montana, who should be able to secure this Wind Ranger kill, and it will. Zombini on the run. There is another Gale. There it goes. And is there another pulse? There is not. Zombini with his back turned. He does have a Stout Shield as well. He might be fine. Shinobi going to try to get one more nuke out. It will be enough. He'll have the Bristleback. 2 for 1 in exchange here on the bottom lane as we start this game off in a very, very high action scenario. And thank God I did not miss first blood, right? That's Smurf Shinobi. He is going to secure 1 assist and a random power shot. I think Wind Ranger trying to get a little bit lucky there. Moon City actually did give first blood, but the Crystal Maiden also kind of redeemed herself by picking up a kill as well. A 2 for 1 with a first blood going to Slark. It's actually going to be a fairly even trade. I think it might actually, mid lane a little bit. High School going to go toe-to-toe with General. It's going to be really close, but High School with 2 points in Nether Doxing doing way too much damage. I think someone even pinged in-game in case I was missing it, but I definitely wasn't going to miss that. In the meantime, my in the top lane almost got bursted down by Assailant. I just saw his health bar drop and disappear, but I did catch there in time. But in the meantime, bottom lane, Smurf Shinobi can take a power shot straight to the face. Gale onto 2 from Hannah Montana, though, will slow down everyone. Smurf Shinobi does have Magic Stick, and that will do very good work versus Zombini. However, here comes Moon City. Completely spotted out Zombini and Mata. Going aggressive, however. Hannah Montana doesn't have any mana. Smurf Shinobi does have 1 pulse, but he's very, very low on HP. And in the meantime, Viper killing off Death Prophet again. Okay, well, I didn't miss first blood, but I sure missed those 2, or that 1 kill. Because we're still seeing Mata as well as Zombini being pretty aggressive on this bottom lane. And with not much health on the Smurf Shinobi health bar. Oh, there it is, Salve. Never mind. He does have the status as well, which will help him eventually to get back up there. Bristleback does have a magic stick, magic wand rather, on top of that. Won't be too many spells casted on this bottom lane, but it will help him a little bit. Probably not as much as he really would want. Shadow Demon has taken the opportunity of his Death Prophet dying in the mid lane to just absorb some of the experience, get a couple of CS. High School, though, with 3 points of Nether Toxin, really putting the screws to General on this bottom lane. And yes, he could burst Viper down, but Viper is bottle crowing. I'm pretty sure he is, yes. So the bottle is going to ensure that the hero stays alive. Moon City, as well as Hannah Montana, going to go straight for Mata. There's the Death Pulse and a little bit of body blocking as well. Mata trying to go for the shaft shot, will not land. Zombini does have a little bit more mana as well as 6 stick charges. Moon City just needs 1 more Quill Spray, and he will die. The heal not reaching him in time. He does have his magic stick charges pop, though, doing a lot of work. Hannah Montana, Zombini going to turn this one around. 1 more Quill Spray. It's a double kill for Zombini. He's going to be on the run. 7 HP survival. He's going to salve through the trees. Smurf Shinobi unable to get the kill. It will be enough, though, in the end. Still juking from the Bristleback. Good attempt from the Bristleback, though. He ended up getting 2 kills before he himself did go down. And oh, Viper getting a haste rune. That should be the end of the Shadow Demon, I think. There's a Death Prophet around, but they don't really have that much damage. Viper gonna get cursed up. He's gonna take a nuke straight to the face. No, he's actually gonna pop the haste rune and dodge it. This is gonna be the death of the Shadow Demon. There's no way he'd get out of this unless High School. No, he's taking a little bit too much damage. He has to back up. He has to bottle charge just a little bit. It looks like he will be fine. Actually, he got hit by the corrosive skin because of those illusions, but General still in a little bit of danger. There should be another disruption soon. There's another curse at the High School. Another nuke perhaps will kill him. No, it won't even be thrown. In High School, being a little bit aggressive with the haste rune, but staying safe at the same time. Level 6 Viper versus level 4 Death Prophet. This lane is being absolutely won not even one, demolished by High School on this middle lane. Now receiving another salve. This is forcing Sophie Ellis Baxter to stay on this lane. I'm sure he would rather want to go to the bottom lane or the top lane, because Salen is really doing well versus the Alchemist. And the bottom lane, wait, we have some more action. Zombini going to start to go strong. Shinobi going to get shackled. Power shot going to fly through. It will hit in the meantime. Shadow even actually kills off the Viper. Zombini still looking for a kill. Does not have any points in that snot just yet. He's going to chase down Hannah Montana. Needs, I think, 2 more quill sprays, though. That will give him a couple more magic wand charges. Just needs 1 more. There's the magic wand. And I think he might just be fine. Yeah, he's going to run away. And Zombini going to get slowed down by the Gale as well as the Crystal Maiden. Now we all even have Wild Wings getting in on this fight. Zombini constantly perma-slowed. He's struggling to get out of here, and Teal might even come around from the top side. He will. Zombini, there's no way you can get out of this, man. You have to fight to the death like a man. Get in there. Or Jukes. Mad Jukes, run. It's not enough. Viper's going to come in for 1 hit. That's going to be another kill for the Viper. 3-1 for him. I'm assuming what happened on this mid lane was just a disruption, curse into a swarm, and then right clicks. But that will help them a little bit, but, you know, Viper finding a kill on that lane regardless. It is 7-4, 6 minutes in, so we're seeing quite the high-action game, and the experience earned pretty even. Gold earned slightly in favor of the Thundercats, which is kind of surprising. I would expect, well, the CS is going rather even, 3 kills advantage for TC, but top lane being firmly won by Salen on this top lane. Timbersaw has pretty much been dominating this Alchemist the entire time. It's a problem with laning Alchemist as a solo hero, not in the mid lane. Because usually when you lane him in the mid lane, he maxes out Acid Spray. The Acid Spray covers like all this area right here, and there's nowhere the enemy can stand. When your lane is moving so much, then Acid Spray becomes less and less useful. So Mai is really struggling on this top lane versus the Timbersaw, as well he should, really. Timbersaw in a 1v1 melee matchup, especially against a hero that's not very strong in a 1v1 melee matchup, is pretty much expected to win, and that's exactly what he did. He has 31 CS, he does have his arcane boots, as well as 1 point in aura from Moon City. Fortunately for Slark, their dual lane versus the tri-lane is actually going pretty well for them. They are actually completely broken even on this lane. But although that doesn't really sound too amazing, it's the fact that there is a 2v3 on this lane, and they are breaking even. They should be down. That's the whole point of Thundercats' lane, is to keep the enemy down. But if they're breaking even, that's pretty much a win for Slark. He's seeing top lane engagement. Oh, god damn it. I'm watching the mid lane where yellow's coming in. Salen trying to get his way out of there with the Timber Chain. Another stun's being charged. Salen going to salve right up. Will be canceled pretty damn quickly. And Mai, though, does not have enough damage to kill off this Timbersaw. Reactor Farmer doing a lot of work for him. Salen is going to receive support from Moon City as well. Acid Spray will not be enough. Now he's tapped out of mana. He's trying to go for Moon City. He's going to get hit really hard by this Alchemist. In the meantime, in the bottom lane, Mata on the run from Hannah Montana as well as Smurf Shinobi. Here comes Baxter once again. Not choosing to disrupt the Windrunner, actually. Smurf Shinobi going to stand and fight. There's the ultimate from the Venomancer, and Smurf Shinobi looks like he will live. It's 3 down on the Slark side in exchange for Just Viper, who I do believe, no, he actually got picked off in the North River. Death Prophet killed off the Viper. Not really sure what happened there, but ultimately TC do take a favorable trade. Ultimately TC do take a favorable trade on this bottom lane. 11-5 now, extending their lead. And of course I was watching the top lane where there were no kills, even though it looked like there were kills, and then all the kills happened everywhere else. That's just my luck, right? That's just my luck. So many kills, and I'm missing so many of them because I'm looking at other potential kills. Bristleback still not picking up a point in goo. That will help him quite a bit against this lane, actually. It will starve his mana a little bit, but I think at this point going for a goo, because if he had goo right now, Smurf Shinobi would just be dead, I think. He has a phase boots, he does have the magic wand, but Zombini will very easily be able to do a lot more damage to that Necrolite, and pretty freely as well. He's going for the full damage though, full defense. Can't really blame him for that. I'm a little bit greedy. I would have taken the goo, because sometimes you just gotta dive fools. Death Prophet, I think, yeah, she did use her ultimate to go versus the Viper. That's gonna be the second death for the Viper in that upper river area. Top lane, no top lane action. But the Viper is doing pretty well in this lane regardless. Does a bottle Wraith Band. Does she have anything else in the courier or anything like that? No, nothing quite yet. Salen might be in a little bit of trouble. Smoke up from Baxter as well as Mata. They're going to run straight to High School. He's going to drop the Viper Strike immediately. Salen on the run out. Needs to land that curse. Needs to do something. Cast something. Disrupt yourself. It's not going to be enough. Salen, though, shackled to a tree. That should be the death of the Timbersaw. Mata on the run with the Wind Run. Mai and try to pick off High School, but that's not enough. You can't really win this fight. Although with General coming in, you might just be able to. Another stun being charged up. Very short stun onto High School. Is there a shackle? There is a shackle available, but there's no trees in this area. Let's throw it anyway. Will land in General. Getting body block High School on top of that, power shot through, and it's gonna be Mai picking up a double kill on this top lane. Moon City coming up there a little bit too late. Only has 1 point Nova, 1 point Frostbite. Gonna go for the Arcane Aura to let his teammates keep up the aggression. Helping out the Necrophos quite a bit, helping out the Timbersaw quite a bit, but unfortunately that means he's not really much of a threat. The Slark team can essentially ignore the Crystal Maiden because, you know, what's she going to do? Disable someone for 10 seconds, another 15? That's not really going to be a large threat to the Slark side. My, actually going to charge up to stun. Will he throw it on Moon City? There it goes. Need a curse as well. And Moon City, he doesn't even need the curse, my god. Alchemist is going to clean up right there, and here comes more support. It is the Necrophos, though the teleportation is very long. Shinobi, though, has a haste rune. He's going to go chasing after this Shadow Demon. Force Staff forward. Not even going to need a Scythe. Just one more slow Death Pulse. It's going to secure the kill on the Shadow Demon. Gives Smurf Shinobi a 4-kill streak. And he's going to rejoin Hannah Montana on the mid lane, who is, by the way, going to go for Fast Mech. Already does have Arcane Boots. The Venomancer getting a lot of kills and assists on that bottom lane, but at the same time only dying once. It's actually kind of surprising. I was just assuming the Venomancer was dying because that's usually what Venomancer does. But Hannah Montana managing to stay alive in that brutal bot lane. I guess it was the Crystal Maiden, and it was actually just mostly the Crystal Maiden who was dying on that bottom lane. So it sucks to be you, CM. But Hannah Montana and Smurf Shinobi, both on that bot lane, have not died that much. Necrophos keeping himself alive with the Magic Stick and the Phase Boost. Now with the Force Staff as well. It's going to be hard for Slark to lock this hero down unless they actually land a Alchemist stun on him. And even then, Force Staff should be a pretty devastating tool to get everyone out of the danger, really. Slark, they're going to need a good Shackle Shot at least if they really want to get through that Force Staff of the Timbersaw. Of the Necrophos, rather. Salen has moved down to the bot lane. He's going to go toe-to-toe with Zombini for a little bit. In the meantime, the bottom tier 1 tower has been lost for Slark. I did miss the destruction of that tower. I was watching the destruction in the mid tower, so it is 2 towers in favor of Thundercats. However, General on the top lane looking to make that a little bit more even. He does have the Death Prophet ultimate up. Exorcism Spirits going to work on this tower. Should have enough to do it. Yeah, they'll definitely have enough to do it. No one's teleporting up here anyway. And this tower is going to go down. There is a fortification. They can maybe slow down General. Yes, they will, but there's no teleportation. So I think she can just tank the tower for just a little bit. Yeah, General should be fine to do this. Unless here comes teleportation. Viper could easily kill off Death Prophet. And General is so very dead right now. He can turn around for a nuke. It won't be enough unless the spirits keep him back up. That was actually pretty close. High school. Taking a good amount of damage before he does go down, but he does, in fact, get the kill. Zombini can get killed up in the mid lane. There's the ult from Hannah Montana, taking a good amount of damage in return. However, Zombini, with those maxed out quills, doing a lot of return damage. Hannah Montana still looking to get in there with a little bit more slow from the wards. Salen's going to come in as well. Has a maxed out timber chain. Oh, just barely missing a tree. Smurf Shinobi, though, going to get in there. Does not have a scythe. Doesn't even need it. It's a mega kill for Smurf Shinobi as he picks up a free Wind Ranger. And Salen wants more. He does have another chalk room, though. Zombini should be fine to just walk his way out of there. Many heroes now on the middle lane for Thundercats. High school moving out of there. It looks like so they're not going to push a tier 2 tower. They could probably just take a tier 1 tower fairly easily. But so far, Slark, they looked like to be holding fairly even, but they were slowly slipping. And it's a little bit more clear that the advantage is in the favor of the Thundercats. They have the control of the map. They have the tempo advantage as well. They're going to get bigger items on their supports as well. Venomancer getting mech, which is a huge item. Crystal Maiden, of course, doesn't have anything because she's the one dying, but she has just as much as the Shadow Demon, and he's been dying as well. Wind Ranger also doesn't really have much, so the quicker mech onto the Thundercats will mean that they have the advantage in team fights moving forward. They could start defending against the pushes that Slark are going to want to be doing with this Death Prophet now, and I think they'll be able to do it really handily as well. Between the Force Staffs, between the mechanism, it should be really easy for PC to just take a fight. The only person they really have to worry about, I think, is the Bristleback and possibly an Alchemist stun, but Alchemist in the primary farm role hasn't gotten any Greevil's Greed. Being up against that Timbersaw, it forced him to get Acid Spray because he just had to hold on to the lane. Smurf Shinobi now going to get hit with a stun. Force Staff, it is going to bring him very, very far away. And it looks like everyone from Slark is going to be forced to back up. Smurf Shinobi's keeping himself alive. He does also have a plate mail. Lots of physical damage on the Slark side, and the tankier Necrophos is, the more damage he's going to deal out. Going for a lot of Heartstopper or over Sadist. He's just mostly going to go for as much damage as possible, but Slark definitely are going to be struggling against this Thundercats lineup right now, just because they have more armor from the mech as well as now the plate mail and Necrophos. Such a physical lineup, and no scaling into late game really. Slark's Alchemist he's been scaling up as a support role, even though he's been farming like a carry. Hannah Montana, though, this might be his second death. He's going to get stunned up with the Cursed on him. Smurf Shinobi going to circle around and try to go for a little bit of harassment. a little bit dangerous being a Necrophos. He does have a Force Staff, so he's durable, but not invulnerable. My gonna close in, wants another hero, Smurf Shinobi. He gets slowed down by the goo. My gonna channel his stun. Will he drop it on Moonson? He will get two, actually. General is there with the ultimate as well. Crystal Maiden drops in an instant. Here comes Salen, though, with a huge whirling death. Zombini will get saved for a little bit. Salen should be able to turn around and just seal the deal, though. High School is there as well. One pickoff will do it. Here comes Smurf Shinobi from the back, and the Extreme Spirit's still alive, though. Now they finally pop Mata, the last one alive on the bottom lane. Will they have enough to kill him? Yes, they will. It's a complete team wipe for TC. They lose the Viper, they lose the Crystal Maiden, but Slark, they lose everyone, and now they're going to probably lose the tier 2 tower. Maybe they can even go for Roshan. The respawn timers aren't that huge, so Thundercats might not get that much out of this retaliation push, but still they lost the CM, which is like, you know, big deal, who cares. Viper did a lot of damage before he went down. I mean, it's kind of impossible for Viper not to do damage before he does go down in a situation like that. Slark, that fight actually looked pretty well. It looked like it was going to be pretty good for them. They landed a two-man stun on the Crystal Maiden as well as the Viper, and usually that's not value that you see when you are playing the Alchemist. I mean, it's usually just fortune, but if you get one of those stuns right before a team fight like that, that's usually a one fight right there. Unfortunately for them, it just didn't work out. They didn't have a front line that was tanky enough. When Salen got in there, he just demolished everyone with one whirling death. Now he's going to do the same exact thing. Baxter on his way out. That pulse will kill him off. Salen going to chain through, kill Zombini in an instant. Mata going to stand and fight versus all the poison damage. First Shinobi, Shackled, he will probably go down. Does have a Force Staff still. It won't be enough. Mai's going to secure that kill. Salen, though, already has a double. Going to get silenced up. He's so very tanky, though. 3 points of react armor with the Bloodstone. Does have Magic Stick as well. Mai going to turn around for the Crystal Maiden. But that's all well and good, but that's going to cost him his life. It's another 4 down for Slark Death Prophet. Without her ultimate available, it's going to be forced to sit and watch as her tier 2 bottom tower is going to get slowly demolished. Salen coming in and just wrecking everyone on Slark. They still don't have that much durability. Wind Ranger, especially Shadow Demon, and to a lesser extent the Alchemist. He does have a lot of HP, but still he doesn't really have any way of getting away from the Timbersaw. He doesn't have any way of fighting the Timbersaw. He's just going to be forced to run away, the slow retreat, and hell, Bristleback, not very tanky either. I guess the Bristleback skill helping him out a little bit, but 24 for 13. TC with their pure damage, with their huge amount of magical damage, and their resistance to Slark's physical damage. They just have all the right pieces right now, and now Mata is in a little bit of trouble. Teleportation up to the top lane is going to be the Alchemist. There's the Viper Strike out to Mata. Will do some pretty heavy damage. Power shot through. Hannah Montana going to get in there for more poison. Mata might even go down to this one. You got to watch out. This poison. Oh no, neutrals. Say it ain't so. Mata going to land a shock shot. Mai actually stunning himself. Here comes Salen rolling over the Wind Mage. He's going to go straight for Mai, who's sitting in the chalk room. Cannot escape from this one. There's no Force Staff. GG has been called. Mai is going to get cleaned up. Zombini on the run as well. But you cannot escape Viper. General is the last one alive in this fight. He does have his spirits active. He's going to get frozen up though, and that's going to be it for him. Huge Crypt Storm hitting onto everyone, but it's a triple kill for Salen. And Slark, they've called the GG. Alchemist is gone. General is gone. And General is going to apologize for some reason. You don't have to apologize. That was a hard-fought game from both ends. I really think it was TC picking up the armor-heavy, magic damage-heavy lineup versus Slark's mostly physical damage that won them that game. They also had, of course, the top lane Timbersaw matchup, which was extremely favorable. Viper matchup, extremely favorable. And bottom lane, which at worst you could say was breaking even. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to be moving on to game number 2 between Thundercats as well as Slark's Dagenham right after this. Stay tuned.